Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV. Here are the top stories. The Chinese embassy intervenes in rescuing 7 trapped miners at MACROLINK mine. LUSAKA woman sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for stabbing her husband. ERB fines 8 energy companies for failure to comply with license conditions. In international news, Senegal's controversial politician SONKO not listed among official candidates for the presidential election. And in sports news, soccer fans react to Zambia's performance at the ongoing AFCON tournament. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Do join me with the details shortly.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
With the news in detail, my name is Sylvia Zulu. 45,000 motorists were captured and issued tickets by Road Traffic and Safety Agency speed cameras. In an interview with Camnet News, RATSA Public Relations Manager Mukela Mangolwa says before the festive season, the speed cameras would issue 400 speed tickets daily. During the festive season, 2,000 tickets were issued on payday, further stating that the agency hopes to see a reduction in the number going forward.
The Road Transport and Safety Agency, RATSA, commenced speed camera enforcement on December 11th, 2023. Only a month of enforcement in various parts of the country, 45,000 motorists have been captured and issued with speed tickets. Road Transport and Safety Agency Public Relations Manager Mukela Mangolwa says it is saddening to record such numbers and urges motorists to drive at the appropriate speed. Mr. Mangolwa says the agency hopes to see a reduction of motorists being captured by the speed cameras in future.
At 400 tickets being sent out on a daily basis. Over the festive season, we saw this going to about 2,000 per day. And by last week, we had captured 45,000 motorists on the automated speed cameras. So people, I think, initially were not taking this innovation seriously. By now, people are receiving speed tickets. I'm sure they are paying attention now. And for us, we want to see a reduction in the numbers, which will mean that people are now complying with regulations when it comes to speed.
He has also clarified that motorists experiencing double ticketing is as a result of cameras being on both sides of the road. He further encourages members of the public to continue sending in feedback to the agency.
Also of people complaining of receiving double tickets. But in this case, what has been happening is that if you look at the Mumba Road, there are stretches where you have cameras on both sides of the road, meaning that you could be complying with the camera that is on your lane and ignore the other one, but these cameras are able to capture on both sides. So a lot of these are being captured from the back. They comply with the other one, but as they pass through that, they think they've already gone through the speed camera, so it's okay to increase speed, and then they're captured by the other camera. So people have to pay attention to both cameras on the single lanes.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, LUSAKA.
Chief Chipalo of Luwingu District has given a 7-day ultimatum to all village head persons in his chiefdom to ensure all the people comply with cholera preventive measures. The traditional leader notes that the location of the Central Business District, which is a transit district, is prone to any disease outbreak if no proper preventive measures are put in place. Chief Chipalo made the remarks when officials from the Ministry of Health called for a meeting with the traditional leader and other village head persons across the district. Meanwhile, Luwingu District Commissioner Chomba Chileshe has called for intensified sensitization of members of the public over the severity of the outbreak.
Chief Chipalo of the Bemba-speaking people of Luwingu District in Northern Province has directed all headmen to implement cholera preventive measures. The traditional leader says headmen have 7 days, commencing Monday, to ensure the directive is implemented. He was speaking during a meeting for traditional leaders organized by the Ministry of Health in the district.
Ngachakutilati uyu mulungu nalapero mulungu mupakati nainenga napita muri imishi nkasange chilife chimochi bamwine mushi nabo bene bashikwetesha namakabushikena mukaleta namipero mulungu mupakati apanga sange nafichinjako.
Chief Chipalo adds that Luwingu is a transit town and preventive measures will ensure that cholera does not affect the district. Meanwhile, Luwingu District Commissioner Chomba Chileshe has called for increased sensitization about the disease in the district.
So, umulimo mwafyashi bandi waifwe bonse. Bonse nga tuwabombera chapamu. Ukapita fyengo mwera. Tukesa ngo batikwali cholera. Lelo ifuta yatu kumineko. Tukalaye kala abansansa bonse. Nokumfa bwino. Tachawama ukulwalika.
The cholera outbreak has claimed more than 480 lives since it broke out in October 2023, now affecting about 7 provinces. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula.
The government has launched the Project Management Liaison Office at the Ministry of Finance and National Planning to enhance the function of the government. Speaking during the launch, Ministry Acting Permanent Secretary, Planning and Administration, Lois Mulube, says the Liaison Office will ensure that government projects are implemented under the required tenets of timeless, within budget, and with good quality. Meanwhile, PMAZ President Dr. Shadrack Saidi says the office will help address existing gaps in the government's project management.
Government, in partnership with the Project Management Association of Zambia PISMAS, has launched the Project Management Liaison Office at the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. The launch of the office also saw the commencement of a 2-day project management draft bill consultative meeting. GIZ is a cooperating partner who has supported the implementation of the office.
Zambia is planning to have a liaison desk to be located with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Investment Division. So GIZ has supported the Ministry in developing new guidelines in project investment management and planning, and also training selected ministries in project appraisals.
PISMA's President Dr. Shadrack Saidi says the office, besides providing standards of project management in the country, will enhance the regulation of professionals in the sector.
The launch of the PISMA's Liaison Office at the Ministry is a strategic move to address the existing gaps in project management capacity within the public and private sector. This initiative is poised to introduce and uphold best practices in the project management profession for the benefit of the nation, citizens, and private investors.
Officiating at the event as guest of honor, Minister of Finance and National Planning, Acting Permanent Secretary Lois Mulube says the launch of the office and subsequent PISMA's draft bill consultative meeting resonates with President Hakainde Hichilema's call for projects to be undertaken timely and at the right price and quality.
The partnership with PIMAS in the space of management of public projects aims at capacity building in project management skills, development of national standards for the profession of project management, accreditation of project management practitioners, certification of project management practitioners, performance management of public projects, and ultimately ensuring the highest value for citizens for public projects.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
governance activist Wesley Mianda has advised leaders at various levels to be proactive in dealing with issues that may be disastrous to the general citizenry. Mr. Mianda says it is unfortunate that most of the time leaders only come to realize certain dangers when disasters have already happened and lives are lost. Meanwhile, Mr. Mianda has commended President Hakainde Hichilema for directing the Inspector General of Police and the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security to review the gun licensing law following the escalating gun violence and misuse by the general public.
In the recent past, incidents of gunshots have been prominent and a number of people have lost their lives due to misuse of firearms which people are keeping in their homes. The question of whether these firearms are licensed or not is a story for another day. President Hakainde Hichilema has directed Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu and Inspector General of Police Grafo Musamba to review the gun licensing system. Speaking during the funeral service of former Zambia Air Force Commander Lieutenant General Ron Chikapwasha, President Hichilema mentioned that he has been seeing wrong usage of firearms, such as at parties.
Given the manner in which the General departed from us through gunshot wounds, and the observation I've made this year alone, from actually Christmas to New Year now, I have been seeing so much usage of firearms at parties. People are carrying arms, they are loaded, they are going for a party. Why would you load a gun when you're going to a party? So I have directed the Inspector General of Police, the Minister of Home Affairs, to review the gun licensing system.
Governance expert and human rights advocate Wesley Mianda has commended President Hichilema for this directive.
This cannot come at a better time than this one, than now. Why? Because we have seen a lot of misuse of firearms. These guns are just in wrong hands, and actually it should not actually wait for the Republican president to issue a directive, because we have the Zambia police. We also have these security wings in the country who are supposed to be actually proactive enough to ensure that these guns are only found in the right hands.
Mr. Mianda has, however, advised leaders at various levels of leadership to be proactive in dealing with issues that may be disastrous to the general public. He adds that it is unfortunate that most of the times leaders only come to realize about certain dangers, among them cholera and gunshot incidents, when lives are lost.
We should not wait for disaster. No, many times we have not taken time to look at certain things to ensure that we prevent certain calamities by actually taking punitive measures to ensure that some of these things that cause disaster actually are handled at the right time. Now I'll give you an example of the cholera outbreak. This is due to this kind of carelessness where we have a lot of uncollected, solid waste all over town, and we also have poor drainage system. We have seen time and again that these floods are all over when it comes to rain season, and yet we have engineers who are supposed to work on these things during dry season. It's unfortunate that the local authority actually have given out contracts to work on the drainage system during the rain season. What kind of work can you expect?
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
The Energy Regulation Board, ERB, has fined 8 energy companies a total of 408,000 kwacha for failure to comply with prescribed license conditions as mandated by the provisions outlined in the Energy Regulation Act. ERB Public Relations Manager Namukolo Kasumpa says 2 companies, namely WWW Investment Limited and Chingase's Company Limited, were levied a fine of 75,000 kwacha each for operating without the necessary license, contrary to the Energy Regulation Act number 12 of 2019. Mrs. Kasumpa says Total Energies Zambia and Admire Energy Limited were fined 45,000 kwacha, with Vivo Energy Zambia being fined 24,000 kwacha, or for operating with retail service stocks out without written notification to the ERB. She says Mount Meru Petroleum Limited was equally fined 45,000 kwacha for failure to conduct licensed activity following the conditions, standards and regulations, as well as failure to comply with the directive of the ERB. Ms. Kasumpa adds that Northwestern Energy Corporation was fined 30,000 kwacha, while Mine Gases Company Limited was fined 45,000 kwacha for failure to comply with regulations. The Women in Extraction Trade and Value Addition Association of Zambia says the country needs better policies that support value addition in the gemstones sector. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Association Chairperson Pauline Mundia says with the right policies, Zambia can become a hub of precious minerals. Mrs. Mundia says value addition would help create employment opportunities for the youths.
When we add value to our gemstones, we are actually creating employment for our youth, because at the moment we have the Ndola Gemstone Processing Lapidary Training Center, which trains a number of youth, both men, both boys and girls. But then when they graduate, the industry is so slim, so it is very difficult for them to get opportunities to be employed. So, and then the other reason is that when we add value, it means now we are also creating more value to our gemstones, and then in doing so, the economy shall be improved, and then at the same time, even the livelihood of the individual is going to improve. Because at the moment, like on the international market, and in particular in America, emerald cut stone or add when you add value to the emerald, the value is very, very, very high. It's unbelievable. And it's not only in America, but then in Europe as well. And at the moment, emerald is well sought after gemstone.
Now, 5 Zambians and 2 Chinese miners are trapped underground at MACROLINK Mine Resources Limited in Mufulira. The mine, located along Mufulira-Sakanya Road, has not been operationalized as it is still under construction. The incident, which happened around 06 hours, left the miners trapped at 235 meters below the surface. It is reported that 8 people were working in the underground mine when water entered. However, the signalman managed to reach about 50 meters to the shaft mouth, and that is where the search and rescue team found him. The 7 trapped were 4 Zambians who were working at the shaft bottom with 1 Chinese supervisor. Another Chinese who was controlling the grabber that handles material as it is loaded out, and another Zambian who is the pump man. Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo, who visited the scene, has confirmed the development, stating that the accident happened due to the influx of water after a heavy downpour. Meanwhile, the Chinese embassy in Zambia is mobilizing major Chinese businesses operating in Zambia to deploy specialists and provide dewatering equipment and other necessary assistance to complement the efforts of the Zambian authorities to search for the 7 miners trapped underground today at MACROLINK Mine Resources Limited in Ndola. Deputy Head of Mission and Minister Councillor of the Embassy, Wang Xing, has led a team to Ndola. You are watching the main news on Camnet TV. We now take our first break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. We now move to court news, where a 28-year-old woman of Lusaka's Chivolia compound has been sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for stabbing her husband 3 times on his lips. Lusaka Magistrate Mutinta Mwenya found Esther Muleya guilty of 1 count of unlawful wounding, contrary to Section 232. In sentencing, Magistrate Mwenya urged the convict to reflect on her life while in prison and refrain from abusing alcohol. According to facts before the court, on the 14th of December 2023, the husband of the convict, Odita Nzala, got home and found that the convict left the children unattended to and went for a drinking spree. The complainant found his wife drinking at a local bar within Chivolia compound, and upon questioning her, she got upset, picked a bottle of Casso, broke it on the ground, and stabbed him in the lips and slightly before his left eye. Now, lawyers representing former Ministry of Defense Permanent Secretary Stadi Mwale and others have asked the Lusaka Magistrate Court to refer the case to the High Court for an interpretation. This is in a matter in which Mr. Mwale and 5 others are accused of corrupt practices in connection to the procurement of the Gulfstream G650 presidential jet. When the matter came up this morning for commencement of trial, the accused, through their lawyers, asked the court to refer the case to the High Court to interpret and guarantee a fair trial. The defense submitted that the accused were worried they might not receive a fair trial owing to the utterances made by the Republican president in November 2022 at the Judicial Conference, a subject bordering on the case at hand. The defense alleged that during that conference, the president talked about the intentions to sell the presidential jets, and the statement he made was merely a directive to the judicial officers, arguing that the president already pronounced them guilty. Allegations in one of the counts are that Mr. Mwale on March 1st and September 27, 2017, fraudulently and facilitated and made payment amounting to 50 million United States dollars to Elbit Systems Limited for goods and services not supplied or rendered in full. The matter has been adjourned to the 29th of January 2024 for a ruling. We now take our second break. To join me with some sports as well as international news. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
And now for the rest of the news. In foreign news, Senegal's highest election authority unveiled the names of 20 candidates allowed to contest in the February 25th presidential election. Opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, who finished third in the 2019 presidential polls, was disqualified from the ballot because he faces a 6-month suspended sentence following his conviction for defamation, the Constitutional Council said. His now dissolved Pastef party called the move the most dangerous precedent in the political history of Senegal. Here's a roundup of international news.
Senegal's highest election authority unveiled the names of 20 candidates allowed to contest in the February 25 presidential election. Opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, who finished third in the 2019 presidential polls, was disqualified from the ballot because he faces a 6-month suspended sentence following his conviction for defamation, the Constitutional Council said. His now dissolved Pastef party called the move the most dangerous precedent in the political history of Senegal. Sonko's ally Bassirou Diomaye Faye was cleared to vie for the presidency. The council deemed Karim Wade, the son of former Senegalese President Abdoulaye Wade, as ineligible for the ballot. It said Wade had dual citizenship at the time he formally declared his presidential candidacy. On X, formerly Twitter, Wade called the move an attack on democracy. Senegal's prime minister and candidate of the ruling party was given the green light. The list, published Saturday by the Constitutional Council, named 20 candidates out of 79 candidacies the body reportedly received.
The EU countries' divided reactions to the US-led naval coalition against Houthi attacks in the Red Sea show that it's difficult for the West to become truly united on Middle East policies. A Spanish expert told China Central Television on Friday. EU countries do not want to put themselves at the mercy of American military forces. Britain and the US are the only countries that united in this operation. Every other country has its own position. The current decision is that it does not want to become too much involved. The EU is made up of 27 member states that have different political systems and diplomatic strategies. In 2023, the Spanish government made it clear that it would not join the Washington-led operation against the Houthis. The US has further pressed Spain to take part in it. The biggest problem now is that the escalation of the conflict has affected all ships traveling from Asia to Europe. Cargo ships can no longer enter the Red Sea through the Suez Canal. Now, they have to go all the way to the south of the Cape of Good Hope area in South Africa and then make a turn north. Apart from Spain, EU countries including Italy and France also sit on the fence and refuse to sign a statement proposed by 10 countries defending the attacks.
And now in sports news, some soccer fans in Lusaka have expressed mixed feelings over Zambia's performance at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations tournament, while others are optimistic that the Chipolopolo boys will make it to the round of 16. Others are of the view that the technical bench needs to work around the midfield to coordinate defense and striking force. Zambia has drawn the last 2 matches with Democratic Republic of Congo and Tanzania and still has chances to qualify if they can beat Morocco in the final Group F encounter on Wednesday.
Olo kulingana ngokuteya kwena abayi chebaliiteya fye bwino lero techitususho kwebati yo badoko twaralanda kofe ama players afire bareba ko strong Morocco tungamuine 2-1 ama draw ya fulisha because ingatwa konkanya ama draw ya kuwera ero itrete yana Morocco yaba ko seleko Morocco na ku World Cup bara mupenda fumene namba shani mulebukisha namba 4. So hapa tuwike kofi amano. Any lose, any draw, we are going to come back. So the next game we have to win. Tuwike ko sana man. Otherwise border. Turatea, don't manish baretera no bunangani kwa tirimbi balistisha bola fikia mwaremon. Ambole ipone na
area to defense ilifie win. Defense na yintu yakosa. Buno pachi. Ku midfield ya kuntanshi yeko bafirike bachinja kupora babika kwa abantu akwe bati barebutuka barete yapora no cy'abantu akwa cyama se office bafika pago bambofu anti bayibengishi barepangira kwa mamu mashina awe kulefu ikati at least ku defense kwa kosa kunda bantu defense nga yako nani ku kuntanshi nga kwa kosa na kunu makonse bala tenshi bala kosa aba kuntanshi fe bare tuipa fe sana.
According to what they prayed yesterday, if they just put effort to Morocco, if we can beat Morocco, then we are going, because Congo is going to beat Tanzania, and we have faith in the boys. We are going to beat Morocco.
Team was not okay. Performance ya bola performance can improve ni pakati midfield tilibe connection ya ma defender na ma strikers palibe, so coach hapo ngosenzera ko pali connection ya defense na ma strikers midfield tilibe.
That's it for our main news tonight. Before I go, here's a recap of the stories making headlines. The Chinese embassy intervenes in rescuing 7 trapped miners at MACROLINK mine. LUSAKA woman sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for stabbing her husband. ERB fines 8 energy companies for failure to comply with license conditions. In international news, Senegal's controversial politician SONKO not listed among official candidates for the presidential election. And in sports news, soccer fans react to Zambia's performance at the ongoing AFCON tournament. Our verse of the day is coming from the book of Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night.